The next morning, Mr. Trelawney asked Jim to take a note to Long John Silver. Jim went to the inn which Silver owned and gave him the note. Silver was surprised when he saw it was from Mr. Trelawney. At that moment, one of the men in the inn quickly left the room. Jim saw that he had 3 fingers on one hand. While they were going to Mr. Trelawney, Silver talked about boats and Jim knew that he was a great sailor. Mr. Trelawney told them that they had to leave at 4 o'clock that afternoon and asked Jim to get his hat to go on the ship. When they walked onto the Hispaniola, the captain, Smollett, did not look happy to see them. He didn't like the men on this ship and he was not happy about where they were going. The crew told him they were looking for treasure, which always meant danger. He didn't want to show anyone the map for fear of a mutiny. Dr. Livesey thought that they had 2 good men on the ship, Silver and Captain Smollett. Mr. Trelawney knew that Silver is a good man, but he didn't think Captain Smollett was, and Jim agreed with him. Silver was able to walk around the ship using only a crutch. All the men liked him, and he was a good cook. He looked after his parrot, Captain Flint, which was 200 years old. One night, Jim climbed inside the apple barrel to eat an apple. He heard a man talking nearby. Silver was saying that Flint was the captain. It was then that he lost his leg, and Pew became blind. After that journey, he put a lot of money in the bank. It was a great journey, and most of the same crew were on the ship that day. Another sailor called Dick told him that he wouldn't be able to return to Bristol after the journey. They would have lots of money. Another man said that he was tired of waiting and asked when they could attack Captain Smollett. Silver asked him to be patient as Mr. Trelawney had the map. They might also want Smollett to take them home. Silver threatened that they wanted to do things quickly, and that's what Pew and Flint wanted to do. So Pew was blind and Flint was dead. Silver asked them to wait for the right time to kill them all. Jim realized that Silver was a pirate and the other crew were part of his gang. Before Dick came to the barrel, and he heard another sailor call out, "I can see land." It was this news that saved Jim.
One. Why do you think that black dog left the inn quickly?
I think that he was sure that Jim would tell people to arrest him as he killed the captain.
2. How do you think Jim knew the man who left the inn quickly? What does this show about Jim?
Jim knew the man from his 3 fingers in his hand. He knew he was Black Dog. This shows that Jim was observant.
3. Why do you think Jim said that Silver was a great sailor?
As he told him all about the boats that were being prepared to go to sea.
4. Why do you think that Captain Smollett wasn't happy about the journey?
As he didn't like the men on the ship, and he didn't feel comfortable about the journey. He also wanted to choose his men on the ship.
5. Do you agree with Captain Smollett when he said, "Looking for treasure always means danger"? Why?
Yes, I completely agree, as we can't always trust people when matters is related to money.
6. Captain Smollett was a very reliable leader. Do you agree? Why?
Yes, he was so honest that he was worried about the men who trusted him to be the leader. He did all his best to make them safe.
7. Jim and Mr. Trelawney didn't like Captain Smollett at first. Do you think that they were right? Why?
No, I think they didn't like him because he wasn't happy when he saw them, but they found out later that he was a good man.
8. Was Dr. Livesey right to think that Silver was a good one? Why, in your opinion?
Yes, as Silver didn't show any evil intentions at first. Later they all knew he was a pirate.
9. Do you think that Silver and the blind man were friends? Why?
Yes, I think so, as Silver knew how Pew, the blind man, became blind. They were pirates who sailed with Captain Flint.
10. Things aren't as they first appear. Do you agree with this? Why?
Yes, I agree, as Jim thought at first that Silver was a good man and that Captain Smollett was not, but later he discovered that he was wrong about them.